Styling is very important in web development. It is what makes the site easy to read and easy to navigate and sets it apart from other sites. It is what makes a user want to visit it again and again. Deciding on the style of your site takes practice, and it is a website characteristic you have to continuously monitor and change to keep up with the current trends in style and advancements in technology. There are three types of CSS styling techniques: inline, internal, and external. Inline styling is applied to one specific element on a page and only for that one instance. Internal, sometimes called embedded, applies to the entire page. External is a completely separate file and can be linked to any of the pages on your site, which gives it a more consistent look. There are specific reasons for each, so it depends on your need. This is called specificity, and which style is applied depends on which CSS style type is being used at the time and in what order. The overall order is 1. External is applied everywhere. 2. Internal overrides the external styles for a specific page. And 3. Inline overrides everything. Here is an example of setting the style in different scenarios to demonstrate the specificity. I have a 3-page website. Notice the standard text type and size. Watch how much the web page changes simply by linking an external style sheet to it. The benefit of using an external style sheet is so that I can apply the same style sheet to all 3 pages by simply including the link. Let's say we want to modify the first page to align the video to the left and the image to the right. If I add the image styles to the external style sheet, then the images on all 3 pages will be right aligned. But if I want the image on page 2 to be centered and the image on page 3 to not float at all, I can put internal styles on those pages and only those images will be affected. To demonstrate inline styling, I have added a second image to the second page of my site, and I have removed the internal style that modified the float so both images are floating right as designated in the external style sheet. I want the first image to float to the left and the second image to stay on the right, plus I want the second image to have a different appearance. I can use inline styling on each of these to give them different styles. I have added the float left to the first image and the border radius to the second image. Styles are applied in a top-down format. Styles read later in the code will overwrite the styles listed at the top. In this example, I have added a style to the paragraph tag to change the color, style, and size. Notice, however, if I add a second paragraph style to this same page, it will overwrite the text color style I specified previously. A similar concept is true on the external style sheet. If I have styles applied to the same tag, but they are not grouped together, the browser will read the styles from the top down, and anything down below will override the styles listed at the top. So it is important to group the styles together that apply to the same element. As a designer, you will have to decide which type of style to use and when. Using an external style sheet makes maintaining a site much simpler and keeps the colors and layout consistent. If you want to change something, just change it on the external style sheet and it is applied to all pages. The internal and inline styles will not be affected. But sometimes there is something on a specific page that needs to be styled differently, so you would want to consider using internal or inline styling for that. It is also common to have multiple external style sheets for a very large website. If there are a lot of styles to be applied to a specific element such as a table, you may want to consider having a separate style sheet for that element. That page would then have 2 external pages listed. Just remember that it is read top down, so it will apply the styles in the first linked file first, and then the styles in the second linked file will override. Another common reason for a separate style sheet is to apply media queries. Media queries are one way to make the web page responsive. This is a technique that allows the web pages to change and respond to different screen sizes, which is a much more common and much more important today with the flood of handheld devices in use. Media queries will not be covered in this video, but I wanted you to see another reason for the importance of styling. Setting up the structure of your site with HTML is the easy part. Adding the style link takes talent, patience, and a lot of practice. Start with wireframes of how you want the site to look. That will make adding the styles to your code much simpler.